Hello there, everybody. I am the ghost of Kevbotomy. Here. Oh. Oops. I thought I set that to longer. My bad. How's it going, everybody? It's Kevbotomy here, and today I am not bringing you a cute statue, but instead a Redstone video. Yes, it's been a while since I have done one of these, and I am quite excited to be bringing you this project that I've been working on. So this is a potion brewing system. It is made for one particular type of potion, and it is completely expandable to whatever potion size you need. So for example, a swiftness potion doesn't need very many ingredients, and so you can make the system a little bit smaller to accommodate for that. So I might as well not just yammer on with this, I might as well show you how it works. So if we turn around here and we look in the chest, we will see there's no potions in there. Now we hit the button and look in the chest, and we will see a couple potions flow in just like that. So you hit the button, you pick up 3 potions, you go off on your way, and more potions will brew up behind to fill up the brewing stand once again. Now, one awesome feature about this brewing stand is if you're halfway through brewing a potion and you come and you accidentally hit the button, no big deal, you will not get extra ingredients in the hoppers and it will not mess up your potion. And that's due to this locking system right here, and it mostly consists of these pistons which stops these ones from extending, and that's how the system is triggered. So once the system is triggered, you have an observer fire into this hopper, which is detected by a line of observers, and then these observers behind the blocks here, they will detect the observer line below it. They'll power these blocks, which will power the individual dispensers one at a time because of the delay from the observers, and then you get a nice, clean item dispensing, because there is actually a bug where if you were to put the items into all of these hoppers at the same time, you will get a different positionally dependent item order. So that's a bug, the item order isn't kept properly, and so have to deal with that by using the observers. Now there's also another circuit here, and this controls the timing for the hopper clock, and that is what allows for the delay, as you can see right there. The piston just pushed out. That means that the dragon's breath has just entered the brewing stand here, which means it's the final ingredient of the potion. And as you can see, when that runs out, the piston will retract, and then that will be followed by the lights turning off and the safety turning off, meaning that you can fire it once again and get a brand new round of potions. So I'll demonstrate that here really quick for you. The new potions come right in, you have the lights that indicate that it's working, the button will not work, and thus it's a pretty flawless system. Just don't spam the button when you first start the system, otherwise you'll run into some issues, as the safety doesn't trigger immediately. It's just more of a mechanism, so if you walk away and come back and want to start new potions and you press it a bit early, you're not going to be punished for it. So that's the system, and now it's time to get into the tutorial so I can show you how to build it. So guys, to start things off, you want to have a 6x8 area, and that is assuming that you're building a 4-wide potion brewing station, and by that I mean 4 ingredients for your potion. Now if you want to do 6 ingredients, you need to expand it by 2, 5, expand it by 1. However, if you're doing 4 or less ingredients, you just keep the 6x8. Now, regardless of how long it is that way, you want to have this pattern of blocks embedded into the base of your glass or whatever you're putting this on, just to indicate where the redstone will go. This will be useful for circuits later. Now, with all that said and done, once you've got that all in place, And if you're building a longer version, you'll just have glass in these spots here. Then you come to this blue, where I've indicated that it's 3 deep, 1 in from the left. That can just be glass if you really want to maintain looks. But what you want to do is you want to come up 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, and then put a dropper on top. So, and you want to bring that in this case 4 blocks, and I'm going to just reference that number throughout the tutorial at this point. And now it is time to start building up some of the rest of this. So, underneath all of those droppers, you want to put a row of solid blocks. Whatever you want to decorate your system with will be perfect. And then you want to take some observers and you want to place them such that they're facing up into the blocks like so. You want to continue that all the way across so they're facing into all of those blocks. And then from the left hand side, you want to come in, you want to take a block out like that, and then you want to place a row of observers just across underneath those ones like so. Remove that so there's no clock going. And there you have the activation system for your droppers. Now that's what's going to hold your potion ingredients. And next you're just going to put a hopper right there. So that's going to do that activation system. Let's get on to the next portion. Alright guys, so if we move around to the back, this is where we take our brewing stand and we place it right underneath the farthest most dropper towards the left hand side of the front, or from the back it's the most right hand side. So from there you want to take a hopper, run it into the brewing stand from the top, and then bring it right alongside the row of droppers there, and that'll bring all of the ingredients into the system in order. Next, you want to go beside the brewing stand and you want to run a hopper into the side like that, and just one sticking out like that. And then on the other side, you want to take hoppers, run it in like that. You want to bring them out and around the hoppers for the ingredients. And then on top of those hoppers, you want to put some input chests in on either side, just like so. And that's going to hold your blaze powder and your water bottles. So that covers most of this. Now, one more thing you want to put in is you want to put a chest, double chest centered at the bottom there. And you want to take some hoppers. You want to run them all the way around the observer chain, and then you want to bring them back underneath the brewing stand and one more down into that hopper line, and that will complete it. So I will bring the camera around to the front to show you what I did with the output chest. So that's just like so. And so that is that part of the tutorial finished. And so the next thing we're going to work on is the input for this system. So this one's quite fun. So what we want to do is beside this chest, we want to come in and place 2 sticky pistons, one on top of the other. And on top of that we want to place a block, and that's going to be our input. So on the face of the top sticky piston, we want an observer with the redstone output facing backwards into the hoppers. And then on the bottom one, we want a redstone block. So that's actually the observer input done. That's what controls the observers for the ingredients. And now we need to do the circuit for the redstone block. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a repeater, set to 1 tick, going into a block. Now that block will have a redstone torch on top of it. You want to place some white concrete on top of that torch, and then a slab with a repeater going into the hopper underneath the brewing stand. Now this is going to largely control the timing of that hopper, but there is another portion we need to incorporate. So what we're going to do is take some redstone dust, we're going to place it down like that, then we want to take slabs, we want to go up like so, then we want to go up backwards one more like so, and then we want to come straight across like that and bring our slabs into a position like so. Now we want to take redstone dust, we want to cover those 4 slabs like that, have a repeater set to 2 ticks going into that hopper, and then the last thing we need is actually a lever set on that block there. Now you don't want to turn it on, however it's interesting that once the system is built, that lever can actually disable the entire system, so you can't just accidentally brew potions. So that's an interesting fact, but this lever comes in useful later for redirecting some redstone, and that is that basic system done. So the next circuit we're going to build is going to be the hopper clock that controls the safety mechanism. So we want to start off by coming to this hopper here that feeds right into the top of the brewing stand, and we want to take a comparator output on top of that hopper. Now what we want to do is we want to run that into a block like so, and on the other side of this slab we want a block. Now this is where the lever comes in, so when we place the redstone dust on top, you'll notice that it's in a line, which means it will no longer lock that hopper, which was an issue I actually had when I was building it. So now that we've got that block in place, let's start working on the hopper clock. So right underneath that block we want a sticky piston with a redstone block on the face. Then you can grab a regular piston, place it down on the block, place down that piston, and place the regular piston facing towards the block against that. Then you can destroy it and your pistons are in place. Then you want a hopper, you want to place that down, you want to run one hopper into it, then run them into each other. So that's going to form the basis for the hopper clock, and then on top of these 2 nicely placed blocks you want some redstone comparators. So you'll place those facing either direction into some blocks with some redstone dust on top of them. Now to finish up the hopper clock, all you need to do is take and put, it is, let's see here, I apologize for my lack of preemptive math, 56 items. Yeah, you want 56 items in your system, and that will be sufficient to maintain the signal length for the duration that the last ingredient is brewing. So now we're going to build the circuit that comes off of the hopper clock. So first thing you want to do is you want to take that glass block that I had in this line and fill it in, because I've come to realize that the lamp indicator needs to be designed depending on what size of system you're using. So now I'm going to show you how to build the 4 dropper variant of the lighting system alongside this hookup. So you want a repeater coming out of this block here. You want to run a line of redstone dust all the way down and up onto that block. Now you want to take a repeater, come out of the block, then you want to take your redstone lamps and you want to put them just against the redstone dust in front of the chest like so. Now you want to take some more redstone dust, you want to run it 2 blocks further and then 2 more repeaters so they don't get caboodled by the redstone block there. Now those repeaters are going into a block with a piece of redstone dust on top of it, and beside that block you're going to put a piston and a piston on top of it facing into these, and that's going to form your locking mechanism as well as give you a good little indicator lamp. So that's it for this section. Now let's get on to the final bits and pieces. Alright guys, so the next step is to actually indicate and fill all of your chests and droppers. So we're going to start with item frames. We want to place them on the faces like that. And then from there you just want to fill in the item frames with the items that are going into each type of potion. So here I have made an 8-minute invisibility potion, and then on the sides that's where you place your blaze powder, and your water bottle. And then on the insides of the chests, you want to take all of the ingredients and you want to fill them up nice and full so you have as many ingredients as possible to make lots of potions. And then you want to do that for all of the different droppers and chests, and once all of those are full, then you can go on and get on with the next step. So another great advantage of this system is that if you don't want to run around and fill up each one of these things manually, you have the option to run in a sorting system and a bunch of hopper lines to fill the system up. So these lines can expand up as far up as you need it, and it comes with the convenience of putting all of the hoppers in a nice straight line to fill up all of these chests. So I'm sure that could be useful if you have farms for any of this stuff. You can refill it automatically, and I'm sure that will make your life a whole lot simpler. So with that said and done, I believe that is all the technical bits. If we were to grab a stone button and plop it on this block, we should see that the system will start to work. Excellent. And if we stroll over to this hopper here, we see the items in the correct order, while the brewing stand is currently cooking up the nether wart. So that's awesome, the system works perfectly, and now it's time to give you a few little decorating tips and how to incorporate it into your builds. So for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to show you the way that I decorated the first version in the intro there. And so obviously decoration is highly subjective and there's so many different ways you can do it, and I really encourage you to find different ways to make this contraption look as good as possible. But for now, I'm just going to share you what I did. So we'll start with a block there to mimic the block for our inputs, and then I also want to have a slab up beside just to nicely smooth out this area here. Now I'm also quite a big fan of taking some iron bars or maybe some glass and putting it above the chest there. That way you don't walk into it and it kind of keeps you back a little bit, makes it feel a little bit more like an interface. So next, beside these slabs, we want to go up one, over one, and down one with purple pillars. And on the other side, we can just start down and go up like that. And then we want to go 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one we want to keep, and then do the same thing on the other side. Fourth one we keep, and we have accidentally destroyed the item frame in the process, but that's no problem, we can always replace it later. So now we're going to take some end rods, pop them on the undersides of those fellas there, and then underneath the chests we want to take more of our white concrete, and that will nicely fill in that gap right there. So once that's done, you want to go above the chests, and you want to place in some stairs that are facing inwards like that. That'll give a nice caved in look, keep everything nice and sealed off, and then you have that surface like that. Now this is where I decided that I wanted to incorporate some purple in the middle, so I replaced those blocks with purple, and then I replaced these central stairs with purple as well. And then finally for the top, everywhere there is quartz, I kept quartz, purple, I kept purple. So overall we get a decent looking design, and then if you want to continue the wall out or whatever you want, then you can take the slabs and bring them across. You can even turn them into stairs if you want to. However that works, you can bring the white concrete up behind it as high as you need to, envelop it in a nice wall, and of course you can bring more slabs out. But that is just suggestions, you absolutely do not have to do that. And like I said, I encourage you to be as creative as possible with how you make your potion brewing system look. However guys, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to hit that like button make sure to subscribe, make sure to comment down below if you would like to see any more redstone contraptions and my take on them. So, like I said, that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!